Hey guys, so today gonna be taking a look at some stuff I picked up. Last payday basically. When payday rolls around, I tend to let myself have one splurge. I try not to let it be too ridiculous, but a lot of the times I'll go on eBay and just look around for some comics. I have a couple sellers that have stuff for either 99 cents or, just over $1. So I'll kind of rummage through those and see if there's anything that I want to pick up. And normally if you pick up, 15 to 20 books, they'll ship for free or give you a discount. So this last payday I went on there to one of those sellers and they kind of went through their Marvel Comics Presents and just picked up some issues that looked interesting, and just some, filling in stuff. And at first when I went to my cart, I had about $60 worth of stuff in there. That was way too much, so backed out and got rid of some stuff that was, not necessarily exactly what I was looking for, and kind of pieced it down. So let's take a look here. So this first one is one of the earlier ones. It's issue 49. It's got Wolverine and SpiderMan on the cover. Not sure if this is Todd McFarlane. It looks like it could be. Just the spaghetti webs and the art style looks like it could be. And this was about the time that he was on Spider-Man, so looks like it could be him. I'll have to look inside after I open it up and see. There's no signature that I could see on the cover, so wasn't sure. But it's got brown suit Wolverine, which I love, and looks pretty good. So this next one, oh, my cat's gonna come help. Yes, hello. So this next one is issue 70, so quite a bit farther down the road. This one is this is when they started doing the Ghost Rider and the Wolverine split books, and this one's actually, the art is by Layfield on the cover, so early Rob Liefeld art there. You can kind of tell from the Wolverine it's very Layfield-esque with all the lines. It's back when he was kind of doing his best Todd McFarlane impersonation, but very Layfield looking Wolverine here. One of his more extreme faces, and as usual with Layfield art, you can't see his feet, and his musculature might be a little exaggerated. So this is getting into what I really wanted when I was looking through the books they had up. This is number 86. It's a Sam Keith cover, and I just love the Sam Keith artwork. You got Wolverine here fighting Cyber on the front, and his suit's getting ripped up everywhere. It's the brown suit. It's basically everything I want on a cover. And recently I had to move some of my comic book boxes out of where they were, and I went through when I had a chance to. Every now and then I'll try to purge stuff, or if I'm looking for a particular book that I've lost track of. And I actually already had this issue, but I'm okay owning a couple of them. So this is another Sam Keith cover, not as exaggerated as the other one, but got Wolverine climbing up a mountain here, and as with the last one, his clothes are all ripped up. It's very dramatic looking. This is a more realistic looking Sam Keith drawing than most of them. He's got the brown suit, and sure, he's muscle bound, but he doesn't have that exaggerated look that a lot of the Sam Keith drawings have. So this one's just I like the white backdrop where it's, if he falls off it, he's falling into oblivion, and you don't need a background to show that. Just have him hanging off a cliff and just kind of white everything out. So this one was just an awesome one. Got Wolverine in the rain with the red highlights everywhere. It's almost like a Frank Miller look to it, with the all atmosphere and lighting. And this is another Sam Keith one, but you can kind of tell from the way his arm is drawn, and the over exaggerated suit with the huge kind of ear masks, raccoon mask, I guess, and the exaggerated claws. But everything else is very mood lighting and kind of Frank Miller Daredevil look to it. And this is about the same time that, maybe a little bit after. I think this is 1991, so probably a couple years after that Frank Miller Daredevil runs. So you can tell he's taking a look at that artwork, and he's put together this composition kind of based on those ideas. So that's a cool one. This was number 91. Again, it's Sam Keith. He's got his more trademark Sam Keith autograph there in the corner. This one reminds me of the Max quite a bit. The weird foliage on the tree here doesn't really look earthly. And Wolverine's kind of just hunched down, huge muscles, crazy hair. Everything's kind of in shadow. It's just a cool atmospheric cover there. This one was a little bonkers, but it's an awesome bonkers. Sam Keith again, and yet again the brown suit, and it's being ripped to shreds. So Wolverine looks a little bit more like maybe he's been Hulkized on this cover, and it's just a burly, like super cool looking drawing. I like how his suit's so ripped up in the back that it's almost just dragging behind him, like he's almost coming out of rips or tears here. You can't even see his back leg because everything's all ripped up, and even the Wolverine sign on the top's got pieces ripped out of it. So that was, I'd buy this 2 or 3 times just for that image. That's a cool Wolverine, just an amazing looking piece of work there. Here's another one that reminds me of the Max, just with Wolverine's hair going utterly out of control here on the cover. It's literally just basically a couple horns of hair. Looks like antlers. And, the rest of the piece, he's super muscle bound. And I don't know why Wolverine can't keep his costume together, but it seems to be going all to shreds on every single cover. And, again, Sam Keith has these little fringes coming out. Everything's kind of almost like the Spider-Man spaghetti webs. Everything's all circles and wound about. I don't know what Wolverine's doing here. He looks to be pulling on a cape or something, but he's obviously gone a little bit wild there. So here's another one that reminds me of the Max again, simply because of the themes here. He's got the kind of a totem mask on one side of the composition here, and you got face paint on Wolverine. And these feathers, very much the imagery that he'd use in the Max when he was in the wilds. So these always feel to me like they could be Max covers in disguise, or maybe if you went through the Max issues, you might see a picture that's reminds you of that composition. This one is actually, yeah, it's Keith. Keith again. Couldn't tell there. It says Keith and Oslin or Dustin after Byrne and Austin. So this is, I think it's harkening back to that run by John Byrne on the X-Men when Wolverine's in the sub-basement of the Hellfire Club and he has to fight his way up to save the X-Men. This is, kind of Wolverine in the basement again with the water everywhere. Just an awesome look. His suit's ripped up again. You got the kind of the spaghetti effect to his ripped up suit. I just love this look here with the water splashing and, he's turning around. The claws in the back look a little interesting, but these claws in the front glistening and the look on his face with the, the light from the grate above coming through, that's just an awesome one there. This one is Marvel Comics Presents issue 100, and this is a fun one. These are mostly flip covers, and on the other side of this one, here it's got Ghost Rider on top of the 100, kind of taking a rest, and you got Wolverine on the bottom holding up the 100, and on the other side it's Ghost Rider's kind of sitting on top, looking like he's gloating, and Wolverine, instead of holding it up, is being crushed by the sign on the other side. So it's just kind of cool visual gag on the two covers. This one I had to get because last time I got some Marvel Comics Presents at my local store, I got one, maybe 2 issues that had Wolverine A Nightcrawler, and this was the continuation. I think I might have the full story now. It's hard to tell, simply because the Marvel Comics Presents stories, they were very drawn out, and if you don't open up the book here, it doesn't tell you, on the front what part it is or chapter or anything like that. So Sam Keith again, just an awesome total Max looking Wolverine. He's doing a Max pose even with his his fists in the ground and the claws out. I mean, there's Max covers that are just straight up that visual, and he's kind of hunched down on this tree here. That's just a total Max pose that would be used later on. And then Nightcrawler up here is very, very alien looking. Sam Keith makes him very spindly. He makes the shoulder pads humongous, and his fingers and feet, the fact that he doesn't have all of his digits, it's made very exaggerated on these. So this is just an awesome look. Here's another part of that Wolverine Nightcrawler. This is issue 102, so it's the next one. You got Nightcrawler on a swinging back and forth on an acrobat. What are those called? The trapeze. And he's all hunched down, and again, he's really thin. He's got his legs in a position that you probably really couldn't do. And then Wolverine down here, he's all, look at those knees. Those are pretty exaggerated. He's hunched down, but I mean, look at his knees are bigger than his head. I don't think that's good for anybody. That might be some sort of elephantitis going on there. But I love this super exaggerated Sam Keith artwork. It's the Jim Lee costume, so obviously at this point we're into the more popular run on X-Men, but still he's keeping it visually interesting. Here's another one. This is 103. Wolverine's getting dragged down by some Morlock-looking guys. Nightcrawler doesn't look to be helping, quite honestly. Looks like this Morlock guy might be hugging him, but he doesn't look like he's in any distress. So not sure what's going on here. Again, we got the more Jim Lee looking outfit here, classic X-Men. And you notice the last three covers where it's been this Jim Lee costume, they haven't been ripped up or shredded like the brown suit was. I don't know, maybe they told Sam Keith to keep it clean, so it was obviously that outfit. Maybe they thought having it ripped up you wouldn't be able to tell, Lord knows. Here's 104. Another Max looking cover, simply because of how he's posed. Got Nightcrawler hiding in the back here. Like I was saying, his suit's not ripped up anymore. The ears are on the suit are always all there. Whereas with the black or the brown costume, they were, everything was in tatters and shreds almost every cover. So maybe they told him to calm it down so that if somebody was coming through the racks, they'd recognize Wolverine and wouldn't think it was Ragman or something. I don't know. I think this one actually I bought last time I was at my local comic book shop. I think I picked it up, and it was the other cover. These are all flip books, so on the other side is a Ghost Rider cover, and I think I accidentally picked that one up because online you only see the one cover, and it just happened that they had it flipped over, so I could easily buy some of these multiple times and not know until I take it out of the bag and flip it over and see the cover I already had purchased. So last one here is 106. Just a really cool look. Nightcrawler's got his tail and his arms wrapped around Wolverine. Wolverine's flexing to the sky here. Got his claws out. His claws are ridiculously huge, and he's got his eye mask. It reminds me of those Batman covers. I forgot. I'm drawing a blank on who did those. Apologies. There was an artist in the late 80s, early 90s, right before they did Nightfall, who worked on Batman, and he had these huge ears on the bat suit. And he was actually at my local comic book shop not too long ago. Was able to have him sign a few issues. And I asked him, I was like, did anybody give you any trouble on making these, Batman's ears so big? And he said they basically left him alone. And, it looks like Sam Keith was getting the same level of respect at Marvel, and just, make that suit as exaggerated as you like, as long as it looks cool. So, got some good artwork out of those ears, thankfully. So, well, like I said, this was the last one, guys. Had a sale at the comic book shop this weekend, so I did pick up a few things. I'll try to take a look at those tomorrow, and we'll try to get a video done on those. And then we'll probably have to wait till... Well, actually, I think the comic book shop was having a sale this weekend for Halloween, and then one next week for Day of the Dead, so they're going to be quite busy, and we might have another haul or two. So, thanks, guys. You have a good one.